Hi, welcome to another edition of Secreto's Scoreboard. I'm your host, Daddy Secreto, Carson Secreto, Maylee Secreto. Sorry we didn't have a show for you last week. We had a birth in the family. Shout out to Eli Jackson Secreto, November 19th, 2020. Anyway, we have a great slate of games to get at you this week, including the Thanksgiving Day games, which we're actually going to do a quick recap here. So there were two games. The 12:30 game was the Texans at the Lions, and it was a complete one-sided affair. Texans won 41-25. Couple quick things. Deshaun Watson, 318 yards, 4 touchdowns. Will Fuller, 6 catches, 171, and 2 touchdowns. J.J. Watt had the craziest pick 6 on Stafford. Great play. Adrian Peterson, 2 touchdowns. Hawkinson had 5 catches for 89 yards. And Mohamed Sanu caught a touchdown in his Detroit debut, which is kind of sad. He was our best player out there, and he had just got signed that day. Going on to Washington at Dallas for the second Thanksgiving Day game. It was another blowout, and the football team and the Texans, they both scored 41. It was 41-16. Cowboys lost. And so Antonio Gibson, 20 carries, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns to go along with 5 catches. Terry McLaurin, 7 catches for 92 yards. Montez Sweat had a pick 6 that was basically just like J.J. Watt. It was pretty sweet. Ezekiel Elliott got bottled up to only 32 yards. Just kind of sad. Amari Cooper was a lone bright spot for the Cowboys. He had 6 catches for 112 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Smith had an interception, which was almost taken back to the house for a pick 6 that we'll get to later. And now to some funner things. So we're going to go around and pick our Thanksgiving Day beast that we think really just stood out among the rest. And we're just going to go around and basically talk about who we think. We're going to write down on a whiteboard who we think our picks are and basically just explain it. So we'll start with Carson here. Who's your Thanksgiving Day beast?
I'm going with Will Fuller, the 5th. I am choosing him because the guy was silent in the first 2 quarters, and then after halftime he came back and was wide open and just caught the ball and took it to the house, and the dude was like,
Sorry.
"What?"
This is yours.
This is mine. So that's why he's my Thanksgiving Day beast. Dude has a lot of potential, and I think we're going to be seeing him for a very, very long time.
Nice. Maylee?
I'm going to have to go Antonio Gibson. Okay, so the guy has, altogether, he's a rookie out of Memphis. So altogether this season, he has, let's talk about his rushing game first. He has 645 rushing yards, averaging about 4.6 yards an attempt, and he has 11 rushing touchdowns. That's the second most rushing touchdowns in the league right now. Now let's talk about his receiving game. He has 233 receiving yards. He's averaging about 7.3 yards an attempt with 0 receiving touchdowns. But now, let's look at his stats against Dallas. He had 20 carries for 115 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaging 5.8 yards an attempt. So, I think that 20 carries for 3 touchdowns and 150 yards, I think that's, very good for a rookie. He's he's definitely a star right now. He's definitely going to do something great for the Washington football team.
Great picks. I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry. He had 7 catches for 92 yards, but what really stood out to me was his play it was in the 3rd quarter with 4 minutes and 21 seconds left to play. The Washington football team was up 20-13. Alex Smith threw a bad interception at like about midfield to Jalen Smith, and he's basically off to the races. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Terry McLaurin comes and tackles him at the 4-yard line to save the touchdown. So I looked up on Next Gen Stats. That was the third fastest skill position player that on a tackle this season. He was like 20 point something miles per hour, and like DK was like 22 miles per hour, like 22.9 or something. So he was almost running as fast as DK on that tackle, which was kind of cool. I mean, not as fast, but... So he tackles him at the 4. The football team stands up the Cowboys' offense, holds them to a field goal. So instead of becoming a 20-20 game, which that would have been, it became 20-16 because the Cowboys were held to a field goal, and then the Cowboys got shut out the rest of the game. Washington put up 21 straight points on them, and it was like that was the turning point in the game, was that Terry McLaurin chase down tackle. And then he was asked about it, and there's just a quote. He said, "It's a different type of mentality. You can't quit on any type of play, and I just wanted to fight until the whistle blew." Basically, he's talking about how they preach that in their wide receiver room, about you never know what's going to happen. I'm paraphrasing his quote right now, about you never know what's going to happen, and he's glad it worked out for the team. Obviously, I mean, now they're in first place in the division, and things are looking bright for the Washington football team.
All right, let's keep it going with the Thanksgiving Day games. Let's talk about the Lions' future. We just got word that GM Bob Quinn and head coach Matt Patricia got fired, which was no surprise to Lions fans, seeing as though Patricia came back on condition that he play meaningful games in December. In other words, get them to the playoffs. But after lost Thanksgiving Day against Texans, it looks like that was a big failure. So, it's an end of an era, but what I have to say, is it really that bad? What do you guys think?
Well, I'm just delighted right now as a Lions fan, honestly. Got the Honolulu Blue rocking here. I mean, I've just wanted Patricia out for the longest now. He was supposed to be some defensive wizard, basically, coming from the Belichick tree, and he's a rocket scientist. He's like the really smart guy, apparently, and he was supposed to be like this savior. And then Bob Quinn, also being from the Patriots, they were supposed to be like a nice team together and, you know, save Detroit, bring us out, be like the Patriots, how they were so good for so many years. But it just didn't work out, and I'm just very happy, honestly. The future looks bright, so we'll see what happens.
All right, Maylee?
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree with all of that. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
Lions looking for a new GM and head coach. But in y'all's opinions, who do you think would be the best? We're going to write it on our boards and then make the decision out loud.
Here you go first, Maylee.
I'm not done.
Pretend it's Jeopardy while we wait for the contestants' answers. Tribute to Alex Trebek.
Okay, I'm ready. So, I think the Lions' new head coach should be Kevin O'Connell of the Rams, offensive coordinator. I mean, if you look at the Rams, they're 7-3 right now. I mean, that's really good. And if they put that mind to the Lions, I mean, you know, their offense is clicking. They're doing really good. They're proving that they're a good team. So I think that if he goes to the Lions, he can make their offense click, which would make them a good team. I mean, their defense can be bad. And we've seen that with teams. Like, we see the Seahawks, the defense is terrible, but their offense is good. So, I mean, if they do that with the Lions actually have a chance to go somewhere.
I'm going to go with Eric Bieniemy. He's the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs right now. He was a former player, an NFL running back. And what I really like about him is, I mean, there's tons of things, but he works with Andy Reid. He used to play for Andy Reid as a player for the Eagles in 1999. and he was the running backs coach in 2013 for the Chiefs. So the Chiefs in 2012, they went 2-14 and had the number 1 pick in the draft for 2013. And Bieniemy has been there with the Chiefs like since the beginning and has seen like what it takes to do a rebuild and a turnaround for a team. He's been with Patrick Mahomes his entire career so far. I know it's only been like a couple of years, but he's been with Mahomes from the beginning since he got to the Chiefs. Another good thing is he's African American, with Detroit being like primarily a black city. I think it would do a lot for the city, a lot for the fan base, and plus we just need like a spark. We need a good offensive mind. I feel like coming from Andy Reid, he'll be able to get the best out of our players, especially DeAndre Swift. Bieniemy being a former running back like himself, I feel like he can definitely have like a little apprenticeship there and like mentor as like a mentor DeAndre Swift and make him become like a better player out of that.
I mean, like you were saying yesterday, when the Texans head coach got fired, when the Falcons head coach got fired, they came back and dominated and won the next week. So if that is true, then this week, next week technically, the Lions should come back and dominate the game. Let's just pray. I chose Nick Sirianni. He is the Colts offensive coordinator. The Lions offensive side we have some great players on the offensive side, but they have not been getting the enough attention that they should be getting to bring out their natural talent, because they have so much of it, but it's not being focused on, and it's not given the courage and the strength that it needs to keep getting better. And so we've been getting a lot of turnovers, and that's not what we need. So I think he will be good because he has 17 years of experience. In 2019, Colts were top 10 in rushing attacks, and that was since 2001. They had 4.52 yards carrying the ball per time.
Yeah, per
attempt, yeah. That was the averaged 5th highest in the league that year. So I say that's why I chose him. So that's pretty sure all for the Lions. So. Yeah. And now for Maylee's medical minute.
Okay, so here is Maylee's medical minute. So first of all, I'm going to start out with all of the players that are out this week. Saints quarterback Drew Brees, Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey, Falcons running back Todd Gurley, Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, Bengals running back Joe Mixon, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins, Ravens running back Mark Ingram, Jaguars wide receiver DJ Chark, 49ers running back Tevin Coleman, and Colts running back Jonathan Taylor. So those were all the people that were out. If you want more information, you can go to NFL.com, look at their injuries. But now we're going to be looking at all the players that are questionable. Here's one that you probably didn't know. Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers, Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, Ravens tight end Mark Andrews, Falcons wide receiver Julio Jones, Falcons tight end Hayden Hurst, Dolphins wide receiver Jakeem Grant, Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Well, he's actually out for this game. I forgot to change that, so he's going to be out. Rams tight end Tyler Higbee, Patriots wide receiver N'Keal Harry, Chargers running back Kalen Ballage, Seahawks wide receiver David Moore, Bengals running back Giovanni Bernard, Eagles running back Boston Scott, and 49ers tight end Jordan Reed. So that was Maylee's medical minute.
Thank you, Maylee, for a marvelous medical minute there. Got some good information for your fantasy teams. Hopefully it helps you set your lineup for this week. So now, going back to Secreto's Scoreboard, this is the prediction segment of the show where we go through the slate of games, we write down what we think the scores of each game are going to be, and then each of us will pick a game of the week where we do a little fun little poll, I guess, for the other hosts on the show. So we'll get into it. The first game is the Cardinals at Patriots. Cardinals are favored by... You guys should start writing it. You don't want to talk? Oh, did you already do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you already did that one. Okay, that was my fault.
You can keep talking.
So yeah, Cardinals are favored by 1.5 on the road here. Cardinals are 6-4. Patriots 4-6. Both teams coming off losses here. We have the number 2 rushing attack. Surprisingly, I mean, that was kind of a surprising statistic for me, for the Cardinals, and the number 4 rushing offense for the Patriots. We got the 2015 former MVP Cam Newton versus Kyler Murray, both kind of dual threat quarterbacks going at it there. We got a lot of good matchups. DeAndre Hopkins, Nuke versus Stephon Gilmore there. J.C. Jackson also for New England has 6 interceptions, which leads the league. He's really playing well this year. Anyway, so let's see your guys' picks.
So, I have the Cardinals winning 27-24. I think at the end of the game, Cardinals are going to get a field goal and win the game. Yeah.
I have the Cardinals winning, but I have them winning by 1. So it's going to be 31-30.
31-30, that says. Nice. So I'm going against the grain here. I have the Patriots winning this game 21-20. Kind of low scoring here. I wasn't sure if the weather was going to factor into it because it was in New England. It's getting cold over there, windy. I just feel like situational football that Bill Belichick got, they're really just going to, it's all about the fine details, and I think his team's going to be prepared and they're going to rush. I think they're going to, just have, a very good running attack this game, and it'll show. I don't know. We'll see. Next game is the 4-7 Panthers at the 4-6 Vikings. Panthers coming off of a win last week, a 20-0 shutout against the Lions. Vikings coming off a loss against the Cowboys. Kind of a surprising loss for the Vikings there. Vikings are favored by 3.5 here. And just a couple things. Bridgewater's coming back to play for the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey's been ruled out yet again. We have the number 6 rushing offense with the Vikings. Obviously, Dalvin Cook is playing very well this year. He's second in the league, I believe, in rushing yards behind Derrick Henry. Adam Thielen's out with COVID for this one. That's kind of a big loss for Kirk Cousins in the offense there. So let's get to it. Carson, who do you got to win? Panthers at Vikings.
I had the Vikings to win 15-13, 2-point difference. I just think that Panthers without McCaffrey, I don't really like that. I think the Vikings have been doing... They've been doing... I mean, they've been doing good, I guess. So I just think that the Vikings are gonna give it to the Panthers.
Nice.
I differ. I say Panthers are going to win 25-23. Okay. So the Vikings are without Adam Thielen. That's a very big loss for them. I mean, the Panthers have been without Christian McCaffrey for a long time, so they're kind of used to it by now. They've still
Great point.
They've still been finding ways to score points. I mean, we obviously thought that the Vikings were a good team, but then that loss against the Cowboys, that was just sad. The Cowboys aren't a good team. I mean, they're a good team, but they're not the best. So I just don't think that the Vikings are going to win this one. I think Panthers are going to sneak it. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's back too, so that's definitely a W for the Panthers.
That's good. I really like both points here. I feel like with Dalvin Cook and the rushing offense, I mean, if the Panthers can stop the run, that's going to be the key for me, because Dalvin Cook is just he's going to be the key for, especially without Thielen. Justin Jefferson needs to step up, the rookie wide receiver from LSU. he's a Rookie of the Year candidate for offense. He's been playing very well, replacing Stephon Diggs in Minnesota. I say that the Vikings are going to win 28-21 just because the Panthers have not been able to stop the run thus far this year. And, I mean, Cook is at another level. I mean, if you can't stop those other rushing attacks, I mean, I feel like Dalvin Cook might, he could go for 200 yards because they're going to lean on him a lot more, especially without Thielen. Next game is the 7-3 Browns at the 1-9 Jaguars. Browns are on a 2-game winning streak. Jaguars 9-game losing streak. We have the 3rd overall rushing attack with the Browns. And, Mike Glennon is starting for the Jaguars this week. Jake Luton, I'm not sure if he was injured or he got benched. I feel like he didn't play that bad. Either way, Gardner Minshew is injured and still out, so Mike Glennon's getting the start for them. Oh, Chark is also out, and Chris Conley. So, I mean, Laviska Shenault's going to have to step up in this game, and James Robinson. I mean, they have he's 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards, this undrafted rookie free agent. I mean, this has been a complete gem that the Jaguars have been able to find here. So, Maylee, sorry, let's get to your scores. Who do you got?
I have the Browns to win this one, 24-22. Okay, I just don't think the Jaguars. I mean, they're their 3rd string quarterback, so I mean that's not good. So I mean, Browns are on a 2-win streak. I think they're fired up to win this one against a not so good team. So that's why I chose the Browns.
Carson?
I have the Browns to win 10-3.
Oh wow!
I mean,
that's basically how they played against the Texans.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think the Browns have been having these games where it's against teams that you would expect to win, but they haven't been winning, and the Browns have just been going for it. But the Jaguars had this one fluke game against the Colts, and if it wasn't for that game, they would just be like the Jets. And I mean, the Jags have no chemistry. They're without Minshew, and just over time that starts to add up, and I think that it's starting to show.
Yeah.
Good point. I agree with that. I also think it's going to be a low-scoring game, not that low-scoring. Browns 27, Jaguars 13. I feel like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are just getting their groove going right now, and they're just unstoppable. Baker Mayfield doesn't really have to do much except for not turn the ball over, and especially Myles Garrett, I think, might come back. He missed last week. He's 2nd in the league in sacks. I mean, he's one of the best D linemen in the league. It's going to be interesting to see if Cam Robinson, left tackle for the Jaguars, can stop him. Next game is the 6-4 Raiders at the 3-7 Falcons. Both teams coming off losses. Raiders lost to the Chiefs.
Falcons
lost to, somebody help me out here, last week.
Falcons lost to the Saints.
Saints, nice, good job. Saints, yes. So the Raiders are favored by 3 in this game. And we got Josh Jacobs for the Raiders, 4th in the NFL in rushing yards. Julio Jones, actually, we got an update that he's going to be likely out for this one. He's not looking like he's going to play. Falcons missing some key pieces. I mean, that's a key piece, Julio Jones. So, Carson, what do you think's going to win this one?
As the Raiders winning 30-15. I had that because if it's true about what they say about the Raiders, how the team is cursed, and the whole thing about it, then it doesn't apply this season because they've been doing so well, and they've been going out on the field and proving about just how amazing they are as a team and as individual players. But the Falcons, I just don't really like the way they've been playing. It just isn't how I expected the season to go. I thought it would go a lot better, but I guess I was wrong. So.
I agree. I think the Raiders, especially without Julio Jones now, I was thinking, because the Raiders, you never know. They look really good. They played very well against the Chiefs both times. They have some big wins against the Saints. Saints only have 2 losses. One of them is the Raiders. If they win this game, especially coming off that loss to Kansas City, it'll really show something about this team, that they didn't let that loss get to them, that they're still a good team and they're ready to go to the playoffs. I have Raiders 30, Falcons 24.
I have to do mine.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
So yeah, mine is kind of more high scoring than theirs. Raiders 30, Falcons 20. Well, obviously I have the Raiders to win. The Falcons, like Carson said, they're not doing good this year at all. But I think that they're going to put up more points this week than they usually would. They're out with I don't know if Calvin Ridley's going to play. He's going to play, right?
I think so.
Okay. Well, Julio Jones. They're missing Julio Jones, which is a very big, important part.
Todd Gurley's out.
Yeah, Todd Gurley too. So it's 2 very important people that the Falcons are gonna not have, but there's no one on the Raiders that's gonna be gone, so I think that Raiders are gonna put up a lot of points. But my God, we like the Raiders. We obviously don't like the Raiders.
Nice. Sorry about that again. Next game is the Chargers, 3-7 Chargers at the 7-3 Bills. Bills favored by 5 here at home. Chargers coming off a win, whereas Bills coming off a loss to the Cardinals, and then they had a bye. So we haven't seen the Bills play in a while. Seems like it's been a while. Chargers coming off a win last week against the what did they just play? The Jets. The Jets. They played the Jets last week, coming off a win, got some momentum going. Austin Eckler's coming back. He hasn't played in about 6 to 8 weeks. That's going to be a big boost for the Chargers. Kalen Ballage is actually going to be out for this game. Was a late addition there. We have the the Chargers are 4th in total offense in the NFL, which is kind of crazy, and 11th in total defense. But they're 3-7. They just haven't been winning those games at the end. They've been letting them slip away. Anyways, Maylee, we'll start with you.
They've been letting go of big wins against the Broncos. That was kind of they were had it in the bag, but then they lost. So I have Chargers to win this game, 29-26. I believe in the Chargers with their rookie Justin Herbert. I think that after that win, they're gonna be, like I said for the other team, they're gonna be fired up and win this one. So I have faith in the Chargers. I want the Chargers to win, even though they're in the Chiefs division, but still.
Carson?
Okay, I have the Bills to win 25-16. Herbert is good, but they've had some tough matchups, and last week was what they needed to get. They needed that win to get their confidence back up, and I feel like it's going to prove a lot and do a lot for them emotionally and physically, but the Bills have just been through so much this year, and they're proving that they're a good team and that we shouldn't underestimate them and judge them. We should just have the confidence in them. And the Chargers, they just like we've said, I don't know how to say it again. They've been letting these games slips. I thought for sure that they were going to win against the Chiefs, then the Chiefs won, and I was like, I'm happy that the Chiefs won, but hey, Chargers, you were supposed to win that one. So it's like, if they keep playing where they're going to lose, they're going to force themselves to lose in this way, then I really can't choose them and think that they're going to win. That's just not how it works.
I like both points there. I have an upset here. I don't know. It's probably unlikely, but the Chargers 28, Bills 27. I feel like they're going to win by 1 point. Austin Eckler coming back was the X factor for me there. He's very dynamic, and hopefully he's back from that hamstring injury 100%. I mean, the Bills are another team that like kind of lets some things slip away. I mean, that Hail Mary, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Hail Mary, I should say. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how their psyche is after that. If they're gonna come back strong, or if like they're gonna be kind of deflated after that. I mean, they've had like 2 weeks to sit and think about that Hail Mary play at the end of the game, but so we'll see. I think it's gonna be a close game though. I can see it going either way. Next game is the 6-4 Dolphins at the 0-10 Jets. Dolphins favored by 7 in this game. Both teams coming off of losses. We have Tua Tagovailoa. He has just been downgraded to out for this game. So Ryan Fitzpatrick will get the start for the Dolphins here. And let's get to it. Carson, who do you think's going to win this one?
I have the Dolphins to win 35-3. I mean, it's something, but Dolphins are a good team, and this is my upset for the week. The Dolphins they've been doing good. They've been having a good season. It's just Tua's injured. And you have to be careful because he is starting to get injury prone. And you don't want that in a quarterback, especially in a quarterback. That's the worst person to be injury prone. And if he's going to keep being injury prone, then we can't have him on the team. Then he's going to have to become the backup, and Fitzpatrick is going to have to become the starter. And then the Jets, Jets have just been so bad. 0-10, about to be 0-11. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. They are going to be 0-11. Any team that goes up against them is going to lose.
You mean win?
Win, sorry. And a lot of people have been saying, they're just going to throw away the season so that they can get the top pick in the draft. If that is true, then that's so petty and so messed up, and that's all I have to say about the matter.
Okay, so I have the Dolphins winning 40-22. Definitely a few things to say on this matter. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's going to play this game. I mean, he made the team very close to undefeated before Tua Tagovailoa was the starter. So I mean, I kind of wanted to see Fitzpatrick play, but him and Tagovailoa, they're friends. But Fitzpatrick, and Sam Darnold is going to start for the Jets this week. So that's really important, but so they're definitely going to put up a lot more points than Carson said. But I have Dolphins winning this one, 40-22.
Yeah, it's interesting. I like what you guys both have to say about that. I actually had the Jets to win this game if Tua was going to start, but he's not going to start. I feel like Fitzpatrick gives them a better competitive edge there. He's just more experienced. He's been there. And it's just, I have way more confidence in the Dolphins winning against the Jets with him under center. I feel like with Tua, it would be kind of questionable, you know what I mean? So I feel like the Dolphins definitely shouldn't lose this game. I say 24-20. I mean, this looks like the Jets' last chance to get a win. Honestly, you look at the rest of the schedule, they play the Raiders, Seahawks, Rams, Browns, Patriots. I mean, the only one they could kind of maybe win is the Patriots in Week 17 out of those, but, still, I don't think.
That's also a big thing because they were supposed to win against the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean.
And then they.
Yeah, that was the Monday Night Football game. Yeah, so they might join the Browns and Lions as the only teams to go 0-16. I mean, I know it's early. I'm just looking ahead here. It's not looking that good for them. The next game... Actually, before we do that, I totally forgot. Back to the Cardinals and Patriots game. So what I told you at the beginning of this segment in the show was that we're going to pick a game of the week, and we're also going to do a poll about it. We totally forgot to do that. For the Cardinals at Patriots, that was Carson's game of the week, so I'll just let her take it away.
I have the Cardinals to win, as you already know. I mean, it's Mark Wahlberg or Emma Stone. Both are great actors and actresses, but I just have the Cardinals to win.
So who is it? What would we rather
Mark Wahlberg is from Boston, and Emma Stone is from Oh my gosh,
Arizona.
what is
Phoenix.
Jan's sister from in the office?
Scottsdale.
Yeah, she's from Scottsdale.
So is it like who would we rather hang out
Yeah, so
with, or
who's
who do we
Stone?
like better
So
as
what is
a?
Emma Stone in?
She's in The Help.
Oh.
Yeah, she's that red-haired actress.
She's who Dara says Meredith's got that Emma Stone thing going on.
Oh.
So is it just who we like better as an actor? Or
Yes, who do you like better as an actor or an actress?
I'm gonna go with Emma Stone here. Very beautiful. Very. Usually don't like the gingers very much, but she's very pretty. She's actually a good actress. She was in Superbad back in the day. I think that was her first movie I ever saw her in. Yeah, The Help. I know she's been in a couple other things. I can't remember, but very good actress. Very pretty. Mark Wahlberg's good too. Just. Yeah.
I mean, Uncle Joe, you've met him, so.
Our uncle, when he was working at Lululemon, he met him. So, I choose Mark Wahlberg. I don't know if I spelled his last name right or wrong. I don't care. I think his latest movie was Instant Family, right? Yeah, his latest movie was Instant Family, so I mean, that's a good movie. I mean, that's like one of the only movies I know him in. So.
Invincible?
Oh yeah.
He's been in a ton of movies,
Yeah,
but yeah, those are two good choices, Carson. I liked it.
Yeah, so Mark Wahlberg. Bada boom. So Carson, who do you choose?
I choose Emma Stone as well because, I mean, it's just because I had the Cardinals to win, and Emma Stone, she's a very good actress. Yeah.
All right, back to the games. So the next game was the 3-7 Giants at the 2-7-1 Bengals. Giants coming off 2-game winning streak. Bengals on a 2-game losing streak. Giants favored by 6 in this matchup. Joe Burrow out for the year, torn ACL, MCL, LCL, meniscus. That's a huge blow for Cincinnati, for football in general. Honestly, this kid was he's going to come back. I don't think he's going to be ready for the start of next season, though, is what they're saying, because of how major the injury was. Hopefully, if not at the beginning of the season, very soon. But he's just good for the league. He's good for the competitiveness for the AFC North. Like, the Bengals are a fun team to watch with him under center. So our prayers go out to him for his speedy recovery there. And let's see, Maylee, who do you got to win this game?
I have the Giants to win this one, 27-20. Well, as you know, Joe Burrow isn't going to play, so that's a huge loss for the Bengals, and I just hope it's not like an Alex Smith kind of thing where, he has to go on like a life-saving surgery or something, you know what I mean? Because, he's a rookie, like, that kind of thing for a rookie, that's terrible. So the Bengals don't stand a chance against the Giants. With Daniel Jones' running game, so he doesn't trip over himself this week. But his running game is really good, and everyone else, Saquon Barkley obviously isn't going to play for the rest of the season. So, Giants win this one, 27-20.
Nice, Carson.
I, too, have the Giants to win, but I have them winning 29-20, sort of same with the Bengals. Because Joe Burrow is injured, he might become injury-prone, and that would be terrible if he does, so I hope he doesn't. The Giants may have the same record as the Falcons, and I said some pretty bad things about the Falcons, not gonna lie, but the Giants have been trying so hard, and they've had really close games, and I have been proud of them. They're at least trying, and they're not forcefully throwing away the games. It just happens because they've had some pretty big matchups. So.
Nice, great points there. Another thing I forgot to say, Joe Mixon out as well. He was placed on IR with the foot injury. He's been in and out of the lineup, struggling with that for a few weeks now. The Giants are a kind of impressive team. I mean, so the Washington football team is in first place in the NFC East, but the Giants actually beat them twice. So, I mean, the Giants have the tiebreaker on the Washington football team. So if the Giants win this game, then they'll be in first place in the division with like a pretty substantial tiebreaker on the football team with 2 wins against them already. I mean, their defense is playing well. I mean, they should definitely get this win today against. I forget who's starting for the Bengals. To be honest, but I have the Giants winning 24-17. Next game and the final game for the 1 o'clock window is the 7-3 Titans at the 7-3 Colts. And before we get into it, this is my game of the week, so I'm going to ask a question here. Who would you rather play Call of Duty Warzone with? T.Y. Hilton or A.J. Brown, and why?
Ooh.
Both wide receivers from the different respective teams. A.J. Brown is a Titans wide receiver. T.Y. Hilton is a Colts wide receiver. So whoever wants to go first.
I'm going to say A.J. Brown. I think that I respect him as a player. You know, I really like him as a player. I mean, we play Call of Duty, so, you know, it would definitely be fun to play with someone like that, you know. I mean, if he's probably good, you know. I mean, almost every football player streams. So, I think that it would just be fun to play with him, you know. He seems like a nice person, not like a, you know, harsh person. Seems like nice, so kind, so. Yeah.
I too have to say A.J. Brown. I respect him. I think he's very good in the game. He goes for it every week. You know, he's not like very, impatient. If he doesn't get the ball, he's fine. He tries to help the offense as much as he can, and he's doing a really good job. And I would just love to play Call of Duty with anybody famous, but if it was between A.J. Brown and or the other guy that you said. I'm sorry.
T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton.
Oh, two abbreviations in the first name too, so that's something they have in common.
I would have to pick A.J. Brown.
Didn't think about that. Yeah, I mean, A.J. Brown's a new up-and-comer in the league. He's the hot wide receiver right now. T.Y. Hilton's kind of fizzling out there. So I definitely see why you guys would choose that.
So you would choose A.J. Brown too?
Yeah, I would definitely choose A.J. Brown. I mean, he reminds me a lot of T.O., Terrell Owens, and just the way his ability after his catch. I mean, did you see that touchdown last week against the Ravens where he carried, like 3 people into the end zone, it felt like, or something? Mm-hmm. So, both teams 7-3, and this is for first place in the AFC South. The Titans are coming off of a win against the Ravens, big win in overtime there. Colts are on a 2-game win streak, also coming off of a win in overtime against the Packers. This is kind of a revenge game because the Titans lost to the Colts a couple weeks ago. And who you guys got? Carson?
Oh, Maylee?
Sorry, Carson had her board ready. Just whoever's ready. Just
Carson.
I have Titans 41-40. I've had a lot of those just 1-point differential games. But this Titans started with a good season. They were 4-0, 5-0, and then they had that one game 5-0, and then they lost, and then they started to lose, and then they won, and then they kept losing, and that just wasn't good for them. But I think that they have a very good chance of winning this game. Rivers is just too old to be playing. He's just way too old. He has 9 kids. He's injured. Really too old. I think he should be playing football with his kids, not with teammates. That's all. I think the Colts need to draft someone young to take over. The younger they are, the more years they can play. The older they are, the next year they're going to retire. So it's just easier to just get rid of him now before you keep losing games. You start losing. So that's all.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I have Titans winning 30-23. So, I mean, I like the Titans. They're a good team. But I don't like the Colts so much because of Philip Rivers. So, you know, I mean, I think that Philip Rivers gets too much hate. I mean, and too much love, too. So, I mean, to balance it out. So, I mean...
Very polarizing character.
I mean, I respect him. I mean, they have Derrick Henry. He got that touchdown in overtime against the Ravens. I mean, the first week I was kind of surprised that the Colts lost to the Jaguars. I mean, that was just surprising. I mean, even if he did, like, because he needs to retire soon. We don't want him to pull like a Drew Brees or Tom Brady or any of them, you know. Also, because like it's better they know that he doesn't retire now, so that way like, he doesn't just like say he's gonna retire, and like or like they need to at least fire him because they need to get like because like they need to start looking at new quarterbacks. I mean, because they're a good team right now, but you know if you're a good team you don't get higher picks, so you definitely need to start looking into new quarterbacks.
I like it. Yeah, I mean it's exciting when. I mean, being a little older, I mean, it's just crazy. Like all these quarterbacks that are still in the league from, 17 years ago or something, 18 years ago, like the Breezes and the Bradys and Rivers, Roethlisberger.
Yeah, Roethlisberger.
So it'll be nice when, like, the passing of the guard changes over. It'll be... I mean, but Philip Rivers has his team 7-3. I know... I think this is his final year, honestly. I agree with you guys. I would want them to draft someone new to get ready, but I mean, this is like his final stand. Plus, I will say a lot of people are on the fence about whether Rivers is going to go into the Hall of Fame if he deserves it, and this season is definitely going to be like the benchmark, what people are going to look at, like his final. It's like, what have you done for me lately? So if he really takes them to the playoffs, maybe even wins the Super Bowl, I mean, he would definitely be a Hall of Famer there. I mean, they could go to the Super Bowl. They have the number one. I don't know if you were laughing at that.
No, sorry.
Couple things. So DeForest Buckner is out with COVID there for the Colts. That's huge. A huge piece for stopping the run. Jonathan Taylor also out with COVID there. I feel like the Titans lost last time. They're going to be mad. They're going to feed Henry, and the Colts are missing a big piece in the middle to stop the run. So I say Titans 28, Colts 24 there. So the next game is the 4:05 game, first 4 o'clock window game. The 8-2 Saints against the 4-6 Broncos. Saints are favored by 6 here. Saints are on a 7-game winning streak. They're first in the NFC, Broncos coming off a win last week. And we just got word, actually. So Brett Rippon, the quarterback for the Broncos, got COVID. And then so all the other quarterbacks on the roster cannot play for this game due to contact tracing. So the Broncos literally do not have a quarterback on their roster that they can play. So they're counting on this guy named Hinton. His last name is Hinton. He's a wide receiver for the team who played 3 years of quarterback at Wake Forest in college, but has never played a snap or probably not even practiced as a quarterback in the NFL yet. So he's making his first career start at quarterback today for the Broncos. With that in mind, Maylee, what do you think's going to win?
After that, what else do you want me to say? I mean, Saints are going to win 30-21. The Saints quarterback, their backup, he's going to play, right?
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, Taysom Hill doesn't play.
Breeze is out with broken ribs.
Yeah, 8 of them. I mean, I like Taysom Hill. I like the Saints better when Taysom Hill is playing. So I definitely have the Saints to win this one. I mean, Broncos are a good team, but with their a wide receiver to be their quarterback, hasn't even played a snap, the guy said, in the NFL. So I mean, I still give him a lot of appreciation, giving him 21 points. But I just think the Saints are gonna win this game. I mean, wait, is anyone else? Okay. Nope. Go ahead.
Carson?
I have the Saints winning 20-13. The Saints without Breeze are a good team. I think that honestly, that it might be the best for them to get rid of Breeze. It's the best for them at this moment. So I just feel that way. The Broncos last week, I couldn't believe it. I underestimated them. I know my Uncle Brian loves the Broncos.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I can't go with the Broncos knowing that this is what they're going to have to do because they were stupid and let their quarterbacks do that. The quarterbacks just were stupid and did that. I'm sorry. I can't respect a team who is going to not listen to what they're told to save their own lives and their teammates' lives. I just can't respect that. So, I'm sorry.
I forgot to say one thing. Jerry Judy's also questionable in this game. For the Broncos, but to say that. So.
Yeah, he's got an ankle and an Achilles injury there. Nice addition. So I had the Saints winning 27-17. That was before the Hinton thing. I don't know. Maybe they'll still score 17. I just feel like the Saints defense, honestly, is unstoppable right now. They've been playing very well. And Taysom Hill, he looks just like a yoked-up Drew Brees. He even sounds like him. It's just more fun to watch the Saints, in my opinion, with Taysom Hill. I know he's probably not as good of a true quarterback as Brees is when it comes to all that other stuff. But, as far as an athlete, the guy is, one of the most dynamic just players in the NFL. So Saints should definitely win easily there. Next game is the 4-6 49ers at the 7-3 Rams. 3-game losing streak for the 49ers and 2-game winning streak for the Rams. Couple things. Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan used to work together in Washington under Kyle Shanahan's dad, Mike Shanahan, Super Bowl winning coach with the Broncos. And so two similar styles of offense, two, really good friends going at each other. I know they're definitely going to want to win. Nothing's better than, beating your sibling or your friend or something at, whatever competition you guys are doing. And so who do you think's going to win, Carson?
I had the Rams to win 27-10. 49ers are without Garoppolo and Kittle and a bunch of others. And that has affected the way that they play. It's showing, and I think that they need to win to prove that they can do it without these people, that they're a good team without Garoppolo and Kittle. But I just don't know. The Rams with Goff, it's just there's so much chemistry on the field. It's unbelievable. They've been getting at least 3 touchdowns per game. That's crazy. It just proves so much about the team, where they're headed, the future that they're having. It just proves that they're going to be unstoppable for the years to come.
Yeah, definitely. I think one injury I had on here. Well, Rams tight end Tyler Higbee, he's questionable to play this game. And Niners tight end Jordan Reed is questionable to play this game. So, yeah, I have Rams winning 30-22. The Niners, they're gone with half of their team. Half of the good players are. With Garoppolo not playing and Kittle not playing, it's going to be a big bust for them.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game to watch. The 49ers are actually getting quite a few players back for their team today. Raheem Mostert is coming back. I think they're getting a couple of players on defense also. Still no Garoppolo and Kittle. But I will say that the Rams are first in total defense and 6th in total offense. So they might be the most complete team in the NFL. And although I do think this division game is going to be closer than a lot of people think. Plus Shanahan always has a good game plan and he comes prepared. But I say Rams 27, 49ers 17. Next game, 4:25 game now is the 9-1 Chiefs at the 7-4 Buccaneers.
But before we get to that, we have the Game of the Week. So, I'm going to be doing famous foods. So, Kansas City, would you rather have Kansas City strip steak or Tampa Bay garlic shrimp?
Okay, I don't think this is even a contest.
Yeah, I know. Let's just both show them at the same time. Steak all the way. I mean, there's no contest. Yeah, shrimp is really good, though. It's definitely up there in good foods, but I mean, I don't think
steak
anything compares to steak.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely strip steak.
Oh, yeah. Kansas City got some good barbecues there.
Definitely.
Chili, too.
Alrighty, so this is the Chiefs favored by 3.5 on the road here. Chiefs are on a 5-game winning streak. Buccaneers 1-game losing streak. We got the third total offense with the Chiefs, second passing offense, going against the 9th total defense in the Buccaneers. Carson, what do you think's going to win that one?
Chiefs, 35-24. The Chiefs have Andy Reid, and what more can I say? Andy Reid is like the best coach that we probably had in a very long time. I mean, he does so much for the offensive side. It's just game after game, he's been improving. He's been just showing that he can get this team to where it needs to go. And I believe they're building a dynasty. And so, I mean, this team is they have so much chemistry. And, the Buccaneers lost last week. And it's just, I feel like Brady didn't shake Goff's hand. He didn't shake Nick Foles' hand. And if he loses this week and he doesn't shake Mahomes' hand, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised, because when he loses, he lost twice to the Saints. Did he not shake Breeze's hand? No, he shook it. But when he loses to Foles and Goff, he's like, no, leave me alone. Ew, go away. He's mean. He's rude. He's not humble. And that's not a good image on the team. If I was the head coach, I'd be like, no, you shake his hand, because that is the team. Like, it's the sportsmanship that you need to show. You are their quarterback. You're supposed to be the face of this team, and if you cannot do that, then we don't need you on the team. Because that is so rude and disrespectful on so many levels. They won fair and square. If you have an issue with it, then play better. That's all I'm saying.
So you have the Chiefs to win, 30-28. I say one thing, this is not the only time, even though they're not in the same division, this is not the only time that the Chiefs are going to see the Buccaneers field. You know why? Because the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, which is in Tampa Bay this year. So if you want tickets, you can go online, look it up. But, I say one thing. Clyde had a monster game last week, so it's really good if you have him in fantasy. You definitely want to pick him up if you can. Patrick Mahomes, he did good, so you definitely want to get him, obviously. Kelsey had the game-winning touchdown against the Raiders. So basically, if you have all of them in fantasy, you're golden. So
call him Harry.
Yeah. What?
His hairstyles.
Oh yeah, his new song. So that's yeah.
All right.
Make out time 2021.
2020.
Oh yeah.
According to Kay Adams, shout out to Kay Adams. We watch you on Good Morning Football. So, I have a couple points here. Buccaneers have the 8th total offense, surprisingly, which is because they've been kind of hot and cold, especially in their primetime games. But the Buccaneers, coming off losses, have done way better this season. After each of their losses, they've come back pretty strong the next game and won. I don't think they're going to win this game. Just another thing on next-gen stats, kind of shocking. 96.5% of passes by Tom Brady are inside the tackle box. So which is like he's basically the most, which is the highest in the NFL. He's basically the most immobile quarterback there is. So it's like, you know, especially Kansas City has Chris Jones, who is maybe the best, besides maybe Aaron Donald, interior pass rusher. So if he can get pressure up the middle and force Brady like out of the tackle box, you know, and have him to step out outside the pocket, I mean, he's going to start to force some throws. He's going to make some mistakes. I feel like he might have some pressure on his shoulders, like to keep up with Mahomes in that offense. He might like maybe take some more risks, you know, that maybe he wouldn't have, you know, because he's going to like, you know, I got to score. Because, you know, every time the Chiefs get the ball, I mean, you feel like they're going to score every time. So, yeah, I say this is going to be a very high-scoring game. I think the highest-scoring game of the week, 38-34 Chiefs. Couple more games to get to. The Sunday night football game. I know. Sunday night football game is the 5-5 Bears at the 7-3 Packers. And so before we get into this game, we are going to have a pause in the segment.
Alrighty. Now let's talk about the Bears. Mitch Trubisky is starting this Monday night, and Matt Nagy isn't worried. Sunday night. Mobile. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, there's something to worry about. You are going against the Packers. Divisional game. It's very big. You should be worried. I mean, you're switching your quarterbacks. You keep switching them back and forth. Like, decide already. This is hard for your offense because each quarterback plays a different way. They do things a different way. And your offense has to keep going back and forth. Like, oh, okay, so we're going to do it Mitch's way. No, we're going to do it Nick's way. It's hard for them. It's not fair. Get yourselves together. I mean, that just, it's really, it shows, it's like a sign of weakness in my opinion. To be going back and forth. It means that you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how you like the way your team is playing. You don't know if you like it the way they play when Nick is playing or when Mitch is playing. You need to figure out which way you like better. Because throwing them back and forth, it's hard on them too. Because they each would like to start, but then you're kind of making it and like laughing in their faces like, hey, you're not going to play this week. Hey, you're not going to play this week. It's very rude and disrespectful, and you're not really treating them as players, and it's going to like sort of start this little feud between them. They're not going to be teammates. They're not going to really trust each other and believe in each other because they're going to be fighting back and forth about who wants to play that week. That's not fair. To your team, to your players, to the whole organization, really. So, I think it's time to stop being calm and start to get worried. What do you guys think? Is it time to get worried, or is it time to stay calm?
I have to say one thing. I mean, it's not their fault that Trubisky's playing. I mean, Falter is injured, so I mean, you can't really blame.
I know.
it
I mean,
on
like
them.
before he was injured, though.
I say it's time to panic hardcore if you're a Bears fan. Team started out 5-1. They've lost 4 in a row. Their offense is like the 32nd or 28th worst or like overall offense in the league. They're last place in the rushing offense out of all teams. It kind of makes me nervous because I was talking about Bieniemy as he's coming from Andy Reid. I mean, Matt Nagy came from Andy Reid coaching tree, and he was supposed to be some kind of offensive, like, you know, not wizard or anything like Andy Reid, but you think he'd have, I don't know what it is. I mean, he's been there a couple of years. He's had some time to get some personnel that he would like, and like the players to learn the system. And honestly, like, I'd rather watch the Jets on offense than the Bears. They just look like
They're not put
I mean, I'm
together.
hoping maybe for Trubisky. At least, like, that's Chicago's guy. I mean, they traded up to get him in the draft. I mean, Foles is like a rent-a quarterback where he just goes to, like, you know, this team and that team, and everyone thinks he's, like, really great. I mean, he performs well under pressure and has won Super Bowls. I mean, he's won, but it's just like, I don't know. I would definitely be panicking if I was a Bears fan.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I would definitely start to worry. I mean, yeah, I don't have anything else to say, but, you know, so that's it.
So, who do you guys have to win, Bears or Packers? I'll tell you because you guys have to write it down and already I'm wondering. I have the Packers to win 30-20. For every reason that I just said. I mean, Packers are not great put together, but they're more put together than the Bears are at this moment in time. So I feel like that's going to be a huge advantage.
Yeah. I have the Packers winning.
Okay, Maylee.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I have the Packers winning 37-30. Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
Say why you want them to win, or you think they're going to win.
I mean, because Mitch Trubisky's playing and they keep on starting their different quarterbacks, so they're not going to, like... He probably hasn't practiced in a long time, and it isn't, like... So they're not going to have that much chemistry.
Alright. I have the Packers winning 27-13 here. A couple things about this one. Yeah, Trubisky starting 31st in total offense. The Bears were 32nd in rushing. And the Packers are 9th in total offense, 12th in total defense. Packers' defense has really stepped it up lately. And, I mean, I think the Bears have no chance, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Alright, welcome back, folks, to Secreto's Scoreboard. I forgot to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there, to you and your families. Hope you had a good one. Lots of love, lots of good food. We love you guys out there, whoever's watching this. We appreciate it that it's been over an hour and you stuck with this and watched this much. So, Monday Night Football. We have the 7-3 Seahawks against the 3-6-1 Eagles. This is the Seahawks coming off of a 1-game winning streak. The Eagles 2-game losing streak here. We got Chris Carson's going to return for the Seahawks in this one. Finally, he's been out for about 6 weeks. That's a big boost for them. Zach Ertz was designated to return off of injured reserve. However, he's not expected to play, so Goddard will start there for the Eagles. Maylee, who do you have to win this game?
I have the Seahawks. I mean, I'm a diehard Seahawks fan. I mean, like, I literally bought a Seahawks blanket online. Yeah, and I'm gonna get that for Christmas. So, I mean, Chris Carson's coming back. That's a huge plus for the Seahawks. I mean, you definitely want to pick him up in fantasy. I mean, not a lot of people in the Eagles are injured, but I think there are a few people maybe on the Eagles. Well, David Moore for the Seahawks isn't going to play, and neither is Rashad Penny. So, and Boston Scott's is questionable. So, I mean, this is a huge game for the Seahawks and the Eagles. Like, you know, Seahawks need to prove that they're a good team and not just be scruffy guppies. So, Seahawks are going to win this one. Go Seahawks.
Alright, I have the Seahawks winning 32-20. Now I admit Seahawks had a little bump in the road the last few games, but then last week they came back and said, hey, don't forget about us. We're still a good team. So I'm not worried about them. I think they can do this. They can get back their momentum and keep winning and proving about just how amazing a team they are. This hasn't been a good season for the Eagles, though. They have had a big bump in the road. we're all asking this question, like, I mean, what's going on? You know, can we come back and get ourselves back on the board? You know, so I wish I knew what was going on and how they're gonna fix this, but I don't. So I just think we have to wait it out and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the NFC East is wide open for the taking there. I mean, the number one team is 4-7, so the Eagles could still somehow get back into it. And I feel like everybody thought the Eagles would be the team to take over this division. I don't know what's with Carson Wentz. I mean, now the Eagles are without Lane Johnson for the rest of the year, a huge blow on the offensive line. And Wentz he looks off. I don't know what it is with his timing. He's like, his accuracy, he's having issues with it. I mean, you'd like to say they're going to like rally and do better. They're at home. This is like their last, maybe not their last chance because they play in the NFC East, like I said, but just, yeah. DK Metcalf versus Darius Slay, a matchup to look out for there. Slay, a former Pro Bowl cornerback on the Lions, now on the Eagles, versus Metcalf. We'll see how that goes. I feel like Metcalf has the pretty big advantage there. Slay is kind of overrated in my opinion, but so I have the Seahawks winning 28-23. And last but not least, the surprise Tuesday night game, the rescheduled game from Thanksgiving night, was the 6-4 Ravens at the 10-0 Steelers. The remaining undefeated team in the NFL, Steelers, going against the Ravens. A lot of stuff going on for the Ravens here. A lot of COVID news. Lamar Jackson tested positive for COVID. Mark Ingram also did. J.K. Dobbins, I believe Mark Andrews. So, I mean, the Ravens are without, like, over 10 of their, like, starters and, like, their main players. Like, the meat of their team is, like, gone. I mean, so with that bleak news in mind, Carson, who do you think's going to win?
I have the Ravens winning 41-40. I know that's a big what iffy thing. I just feel like I wrote this before I read the news today about the players that were gonna be out. But I mean, the Ravens have a lot of potential. They're a good team. They've just been losing it. And I mean, I feel like they have. I mean, we just watched 360 about Mo Gaba, and Mo Gaba was a very free-spirited. I mean, he didn't let his cancer stand in the way of anything. And I believe that the Ravens are just like that. They can bounce back and have this free, loving spirit that you just know all about. And I just feel like, that's going to be a good one. The Steelers, I don't have to tell you that they have a perfect record this season. It's kind of a given. But we're all really wondering, is this luck or is it just with the Steelers now? Is this a one-time thing? I guess really we just have to see how this game comes and then next season. If this is a fluke, then it's a pretty big one. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, James Conner's out due to COVID-19 too.
Nice,
so
I forgot that.
That's pretty important for the Steelers. I mean, I have the Steelers winning 40-30. I mean, it's like the Ravens are like the Niners. If it's not injuries, it's COVID-19. And I mean, the Ravens they put up a good fight last week against Titans, but Steelers, I just think that they're gonna beat up the Ravens. But the Ravens are, I mean, with RG3, I mean, he's good, but he's not Lamar Jackson good. So
I like it. So, yeah, a couple things about this one. Besides that, the Ravens have the 6th total defense, the first rushing defense. If anything can save them, it would be their defense here. I mean, it's going to be a tall task, to be honest. Like, RG3 starting for the first time in, I don't know, a few years. To be honest, I think since he was on the Redskins. I mean, that was when they were called the Redskins. I mean, Gus Edwards is going to start for the Ravens running back. Last time the Ravens played the Steelers, they rushed for over 200 yards. So if they have any chance to beat the Steelers, that's what they're going to have to do. RG3 is going to have to do his best Lamar Jackson impersonation. He looks similar to him. I know he probably doesn't play like him anymore, but... And another thing, Yannick Ngakoue leading the league in sacks on the Ravens with 11. That's kind of surprising. I didn't know that until I looked this up, which is because nobody's been talking about him. You don't hear his name. But Ravens, Steelers 27, Ravens 13. I'm a Ravens fan. I would love to see him win. I just feel like they're just going to be too deflated, and Steelers are just going to roll on them. So that was the end of that segment, the preview show. Now, a word from our sponsors.
Tonight, I'll be having yummy pizza with broccolini. My turn. Tonight, I'll be having cauliflower pizza with yummy broccolini. Is that my leotard? No. You can keep it.
Alright, now I'm gonna get
Word from our sponsor.
Like a superpower, find out to your despair in your darkest light. Right away, Red Cross is there. Honor the ones we've saved, and the cross we wear is red.
Another word.
Yes, me. Yeah. Wait. Chicken dinner. Winner. Chicken. Wait. Fingers.
Now, that was a quick intermission. Welcome back to Secreto Scoreboard. We're going to be looking at the playoff picture right now. So, I'm going to name a team, like all the teams, top teams in the AFC, top teams in the NFC, and I'm going to ask them a question, and they're going to answer it on the whiteboard. So, first, let's look at the AFC. The number one team in the AFC is the Steelers, which are 10-0, and they're first in the NFC North. AFC North. Sorry. Number two is the Chiefs, 9-0, first in AFC West. Bills are number 3, and they're 7-3, the first in AFC East. Number 4 is the Colts, they're 7-3, which are the first in AFC South. And number 5 is the Titans, which are 7-3, and they're second in NFC South. 6 is the Browns, which are 7-3, and they're second in the AFC North. 7 is Raiders, which are 6-4, and they're the second in AFC West. Now we're going to go down to the bottom ones. 8th is the Ravens, which are 6-4, which is the third in the AFC North. 9th, the Dolphins, 6-4, second in AFC East. Number 10 is the Broncos, which are 4-6, and the third in the AFC West. Number 11 is the Patriots, which are 6-4, and third in AFC East. And number 12 is Texans, which are 4-7, which is third in AFC South. Okay. Now, let's look at the NFC real quick. First place in the NFC is the Saints, which are 8-2, first in NFC South. Number 2 is the Rams, which are 7-3, and the first in NFC West. Number 3 is the Packers, which are 7-3, first in NFC North. Number 4 is Washington Football Team, with 4-7, first in NFC East. Number 5 is Seattle Seahawks, which are 7-3, second in NFC West. Number 6 is Buccaneers, which are 4-7, second in NFC South. 7 Cardinals, 6-4, third in the NFC West. Bears are 5-5, second in NFC North. Number 8 is Vikings, 4-6, third in NFC North. Niners are 4-6, fourth in NFC West. And number 11, Panthers, 4-7, third in NFC South. And number 12 is the Lions, which are 4-7, which are fourth in the NFC North. So knowing that, what top 7 teams in the AFC and the NFC do you think will falter?
think they have been playing some bad games and they've had their good games, but I think they just haven't been really, doing good like how we thought they would because they had Brady. I just think like there's something that's not right there. There's no chemistry really. I mean, we thought maybe give it some time. Well, we've given it some time. We're in week 12 and this is really sad. There's no chemistry. I just don't like it.
Daddy?
I say the Raiders. I feel like, I don't know, we'll see about them. They play, who do they play this week?
Falcons.
Oh yeah, the Falcons. They should win. I don't know, I'm saying this more that I think another team in the AFC is going to come up and take their place. I mean, the Raiders have been a good team and have shown us good things. I just feel like there's someone else that'll be nipping at their heels. Not a knock so much on the Raiders, but I just have more faith in a different team.
I have to say the Bills. I mean, they're a good team and all, but I just don't think that for the rest of the season they're not going to do as good as we're going to hope them to do. I mean, they thought they won against the Cardinals. I don't know when Stephon Diggs got that touchdown, but through the Hail Mary, so I think the Bills are going to falter. So next one is team in the bubble that I think will make the playoffs. So bubble is like if they're number 8 and below. So, if you have that down, Carson, go ahead.
Okay. I think the Ravens. The Ravens have a lot of potential on their team. We just don't know how to show it. I mean, many people, including Lamar, Dobbins, and Ingram, have had COVID, yes, but that shouldn't hold you back. You should prove that you are a good enough team to play without these guys. And that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I think they can do.
Daddy?
I also say the Ravens here. That's why I had the Raiders as the team that might slip out of the playoff picture because, I mean, now with the COVID news, it's going to be very tough for the Ravens to do that because they play the Steelers and then the Cowboys next Monday night, and I heard that Lamar might not play for the Cowboys game either. So, I mean, they could lose 2 games in a row and be 6-6 like in a couple weeks. So we'll see what happens with them. This is going to be a big test for them to see what kind of team they are, and if they can at least get 1 win out of these next 2 games would be clutch for their hopes.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I have to say I have a lot of faith in the Panthers. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is going to play soon, hopefully, and I have to say one thing. They're kind of like the Chargers. They've just been busting, wins. Like, you think they're going to win, but then they blow it, like Carson said, whenever they were against, Yeah, so, I just think that the Panthers, if they get 1 win, at least they're going to have the energy and go into the bubble. So, playoffs. So now, we are going to be looking at our Super Bowl predictions. So, on our whiteboard, we're going to write down what 2 teams do you think are going to be in the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay this year. So, Carson, do you have it written down? Okay. So,
Have the Chiefs over the Rams. I mean, I feel like the Chiefs, you don't really have to say much about them. Everyone knows about them. They're going to be there at the end, most likely. And just the Rams, I'll say. I've been very impressed. I feel like they might be the most complete team, even though Kansas City has a much better offense overall. Maybe not much better, but, Mahomes is just way better than Goff. That's the X factor there. But the Rams' defense is much better than the Chiefs' defense. Just, a couple of years ago, the Rams were in the lowest scoring Super Bowl in NFL history. And kind of everyone wrote off the Rams. They weren't going to be that team this year. And they've shown us they're 7-3. They could definitely win the NFC West and get it. We'll see. I just feel like that team they got it going. Sean McVay, he knows what's going on. Goff, I mean, they're just spreading the ball around. Plus, they rotate those 3 running backs very well. And I don't know, like Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, they have all the pieces. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. I mean, I could definitely see them going all the way.
Carson?
I have the Chiefs and the Rams as well. I think they're going to the Super Bowl because the Rams have been killing it. I mean, there's just so much chemistry there. They've been getting touchdown after touchdown. I really think they have so much going for them. The Chiefs, they may have lost against the Raiders, but they were saying like, oh, you're going to beat us? Okay, well, we're going to kick your butt, and then we're going to show you who's boss. You know, they're like, don't mess with us because we will dominate you every time. And I feel like they're showing that, and they're the champs, and they're going to own the league, and this is the start of a great team, a great dynasty, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm going Chiefs and Rams too. I mean, I would say one thing though. The game when the Rams played the Seahawks, they shut out DK Metcalf. I mean, Jalen Ramsey. So, I mean, I just noticed that Jalen Ramsey, and he's on the Rams. So, I hope he doesn't, like, if they go to the Super Bowl, he doesn't shut out, their running back. So, but, I definitely have a lot of faith in the Chiefs. I mean, hopefully they're going to start a dynasty, but not going to be like the Patriots dynasty where everyone hates them. It's going to be like everyone loves them. But that's what I think.
Going against your own team, huh?
Well, I mean...
Okay. And what about the Seahawks? What's going on?
Now our new segment is about MVP. So... we have a lot of options for MVPs. Well, there could be Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Derrick Henry, Kyler Murray, Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, anyone that you choose. But today we are all going to choose our own idea of what MVP is. An MVP is for us, okay? So, like, if you, would you say everyone's ready? Carson, you can go ahead and go first.
I have Kyler Murray. Hail Murray. I think Kyler Murray should be MVP because to me MVP is a man who has speed. He has an eye for, Murray just knows where the ball is going without even thinking twice. He knows where it's going. He knows how it's going to get there. He has so much speed and he's very short, so you wouldn't think that he has that much speed, but he does. It's insane. And he's so good with throwing the ball to just throw it to Dobbins, where 3 guys are surrounding him, where you wouldn't think, oh no, Bills are gonna win, or Hopkins. Sorry, Bills are gonna win. No, the Cardinals are gonna win because that's just how good the guy is. So that's why I think he deserves to be MVP.
Yeah, that's good, Daddy.
I'm gonna say Patrick Mahomes, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend. What can we say about him? He's 9-1. He has 27 touchdowns to 2 interception ratio, the best in the league. And if anyone had any doubt, just look at the tape last week. Chiefs were down by 4 with 1 minute and 43 seconds left, 1 timeout. Just drove down the field like butter, like they were playing against air, honestly, and just scored a wide open touchdown to Kelsey. It was like no drama whatsoever. And then even Andy Reid after the game, he's like, well, we have Mahomes or whatever. He just you just come to expect it at this point, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the pressure, no matter how much time is left or how many timeouts. Number 15.
He can
he's just. I don't know, man. He's amazing.
That's the number that you're looking for when the Chiefs come on the field. It's number 15.
I'm going to say the person you guys probably wouldn't think, just because he has an interesting record. Yes, he has a lot of interceptions in the league, but, that's fine. I think that the Seahawks and Russell Wilson, they've they've proved that they are good. Even though, I mean, whenever he's under pressure, whenever they're up against a good team, that's when he can crack. Like against the Bills, against that first game against the Cardinals. But I think it's okay. I mean, he's the fourth passer quarterback in the NFL right now, and I'm surprised number one is Texans quarterback. Yeah.
Well, he has one more game played because he played on Thursday. But Russell Wilson's also leading the league in touchdown passes, I believe. He has 30, Mahomes has 27. So he has more touchdowns than Mahomes.
Yeah. I mean, he has more touchdowns. I think he has a lot of weapons on the field. So, I think that's why he's definitely a Super Bowl candidate.
You mean MVP candidate?
MVP.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was the end of MVP segment.
Alright, this year the Pro Bowl is being held on Madden for the first time virtually. This year for the Pro Bowl, it will be held on Madden, and the players selected for the Pro Bowl will be the guys that you see on the screen. It is going to be week long, and you can watch on ESPN and ABC. And some of your favorite people from celebrities, NFL legends, and current players will make special appearances. It's super goated. It's really cool. And I'm happy that we're still going to be doing it. So NFL and Madden have been working constantly to put this together and make sure that everything works. If you haven't voted for Pro Bowl players, go to the NFL.com and you can vote there. Who do you guys think should go?
So we're doing our own Pro Bowl roster with NFC and AFC. So on the AFC side, on the AFC, I just went all Chiefs, baby. I got Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. I think all of them will be in the Pro Bowl by the end of the year. All of them great candidates. Chiefs all the way. They're going to win the Super Bowl too. And in the NFC, I got Russell Wilson, Antonio Gibson, the Rook. He's killing it. He's got 11 touchdowns this year. Devontae Adams. And then showing the Lions some love. T.J. Hawkinson really has been playing well. And there's not a lot of good tight ends in the league, especially in the NFC. So I give the second-year tight end some love. T.J. Hawkinson, my Pro Bowl bid.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Maylee.
Just one is kind of messy, so I'll just read it.
I'll hold it for you.
Okay. My quarterback in the AFC is Patrick Mahomes. My wide receiver is A.J. Brown. My running back is Derrick Henry. My tight end is Travis Kelce. Definitely got to go with Travis Kelce. NFC, my quarterback is Russell Wilson. My wide receiver is DK Metcalf. Gosh, I think that's upside down. Wait, is it? Mm-hmm. No, okay. My running back is Dalvin Cook, and my tight end is George Kittle.
Alrighty.
I think that was upside down.
My AFC is Mahomes, Derrick Henry, Will Fuller, and Travis Kelce. NFC side, I have Goff, Dalvin Cook, DK Metcalf, and Rob Gronkowski. Gronkowski.
That's a good one. I almost went with Gronk too. It was between Hawkinson and Gronk for me. Great pick.
I don't know if any of our guys will make it, but let's hope they do, because we had some good matchups, good teams. I think we should work for Madden in the NFL because we're very good at this. So that's the end for this segment of the Pro Bowl.
So now for the last segment of our show, Secreto Scoreboard, is bold predictions. So we're each going to go around and say one prediction that we think is going to happen on Sunday's slate of games or Monday's slate of games or, even Tuesday's slate game. So, let's start off with Daddy.
Okay, so I just want to say, I was going to say if Tua plays, that the Jets would win their first game of the season and become 1-10 was my bold prediction, but Tua's doubtful, not going to play. Fitzpatrick's playing, so I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm going to say that Cam Newton will have 100 yards rushing and 3 rushing touchdowns against the Cardinals. I feel like he's going to show Kyler Murray who the OG is for the dual threat quarterbacks, former MVP. I feel like Belichick's going to go really run heavy this game, and Cardinals can't really, they're not going to be able to stop it in my opinion. I think Cam is going to have a lot of design quarterback runs, and he's going to run all over them.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. Karsten?
Well, my biggest game was obviously the Patriots and Cardinals. This is a really big game for the Patriots. It decides if they stay or they're gone. It's a very big game. But my bold prediction is that it's going to really come down to the wire for this game, and it's going to be the Cardinals going for a Hail Murray, and that they're going to get it, and they're going to win the game.
Oh, man. That would be sweet.
So my bold prediction is about the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Patrick Mahomes is going to throw 2 touchdowns to Travis Kelce against the Buccaneers. I mean, I hope that happens. So, yeah, that was the end of that segment. So that is the end of our show. Thank you
to all of our fans, our sponsors.
And happy early birthday, Mr. Secreto.
Yeah, his birthday's on the 30th.
You.
Right?
Seahawks, Monday night game on my birthday. Pretty exciting.
Tomorrow.
Shout out to our producer, Mommy Secreto. Phoenix Secreto.
Eli Secreto.
Secreto.
Everyone that's watching this, shout out to you.
We couldn't do it without you guys.
You guys. Thanks for the support. Happy Thanksgiving again. Stay safe.
Tune in next time.
Love you guys.
Love you. Mwah.